Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a new 2017 album review. And today we're going to be looking into the new album from the band August Burns Red entitled Anthem, which came out through Fearless Records. Now, everybody should probably know or at least heard of August Burns Red. They're a metalcore band based out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania that formed in 2003 by guitarists J.B. Brubaker and Brent Rambler and drummer Matt Greiner. And on their first album, Thrill Seeker, which came out in 2005, they had different singer, forget who it is, and they also had a different bassist too. But it wasn't until like 2006 they had a lineup change, and they have their current vocalist Jake Lors, and they also have current bassist Dustin Davidson. Ever since then, nobody has ever left the band. And then the first album with their current lineup then was 2007's Messengers, which in my opinion is still their best album, and I actually got to see them play that album in its entirety back in February. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the new album, Phantom Anthem. And this album is, of course, the follow-up to 2015's Found in Faraway Places, which in my opinion was a pretty good album. And for me, August Burns Red are one of the, in my opinion, the few metalcore bands or current modern metalcore bands that they just continue to get better and better. I mean, like, this album is just no exception. I think this is a step up from Found in Faraway Places. Like, what can I say? Like, the production is really great. Like, everything is where it needs to be. And let's talk about the vocal work from Jake Lors. I mean, Jake Lors' vocals have like improved a lot. Like, we could tell, like, especially with the previous album, like he does like some different stuff vocally, like lower growling and like different stuff. And you can also hear a little bit of like faded, like clean vocals he does. You see that, hear that a little bit in the mix, but it's not like prominent. But yeah, guitar wise, I mean, J.B. Brubaker and Brent Rambler come up with some really great riffs, and like just the riffs they come up with, I don't even know. I think they're August Burns Red are, in my opinion, one of the few bands in the in like metal or metalcore in metal and genre. They just have, like, every new album they just don't reuse any riffs. It's just new fresh riffs all the time. It's just spot on. The bass playing from Dustin Davidson, I think, is hear it a little bit more on this album compared to like the previous few albums. You could definitely hear it a lot more in the mix. And drumming wise, what can I say about Matt Greiner? The guy's a beast at the drums. It's just insane. But yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this 11-track album, track by track, with starting off with King of Sorrow. And this is a great way to start this album. It kicks you right in the teeth, opens up the floodgates right from the get-go, and it kind of remains relentless to the end. I think, in my opinion, a great way to start off this album. Love this track. And then we go into Hero of the Half-Truth, another good song, really enjoyed it. The Frost. Kind of, when I first heard the song, like, the intro kind of starts off kind of like weird for like a minute or so, but then before your ears get like ripped to shreds with like some very melodic screaming, like in the vocals. Like, Jake kind of like does like screaming, but it can really hear a little bit more of a melody to it, which is kind of unique and interesting. And it's just some brilliant guitar work, especially like the tapping that JB does on the song. It's really good. Lifeline, one of my favorite songs on this album, and this pretty much has like a more melodic guitar section, but kind of like shows some contrast, but not like straying away from like the heaviness that August Burns Red is known for. It has a really great clean middle section and just a really good solo in there. They're one of my favorite songs. You should definitely check that out. And then we go into Invisible Enemy and Quake. Now, these two songs kind of continue in sort of like the same vein, especially like the drums are, especially in Quake, it just punches you right in the face. Love, those are some good songs. Coordinates, in my opinion, sort of like the slower song on this album. But it's not like misplaced in any way at all. It's very heavy with some pounding and relentlessness to there, with some very fantastic groove in the song. Generations, which brings you back to Earth with a massive bang to it. But the best track on this album has to be the song Float, which it goes from standstill to like 100 miles per hour in a blink of an eye. But it still has that anthemic sound to it, and sort of like a little bit of a funky kind of weirdness to it that makes it that stand out, as well as from all the other songs on this album. And it just has some really good vocal work and just like a very good melodic rhythm, and just from Brent, and just some really great shredding from JB. One of the standout tracks on here, I really enjoyed it. And then the last two songs on the album are Dangerous and Carbon Copy, which close out the album. Same with how the album started off with King of Sorrow. It's just brutal, hard-hitting, kicks you right in the face, and I think these songs are just a great way to end this album, end it off with a bang. And overall, Phantom Anthem by August Burns Red is a sick addition to their discography. They just continue to get better and better with each album. If I were to give this album a score, I'd probably give this a solid 9 out of 10. And a good solid collection if you're a fan of like metalcore or just like metal in general. You should check it out. But yeah, that's my review of the new August Burns Red, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video, and keep it metal.